green flag, go, go, go!
We will write about motorsport games, find out why and other news right here, right now. Greetings Petrolheads and welcome to romrom.net, the channel sharing the joy of sim racing, and to our regular news roundup. If you have any news for us, send us a mail to news@romrom.net. Thanks for watching, my name is Serta and I will be your host for this video. Out of a quarterly investor meeting of motorsport games, we got a ton of information about the future of rFactor 2, Kartkraft and Motorsport games, which we are of course going to share with you. We also got some more short-term news about rFactor 2 and very interesting news about Euro Truck Simulator 2 and American Truck Simulator. Oh, and a small tidbit, hey, news before the news. Focus, the developers of Snowrunner, sneakily released the Year 2 Seasons Pass for Snowrunner, which you can buy everywhere now for round about €25 USD. Based on what they delivered on Year 1, it may be very well worth it. Our news are always worthy and don't cost a penny, by the way. Here we go. Some details about motorsport games and the future of their sims out of a quarterly investor meeting call. Motorsport games see themselves as racing game developer and publisher, and here comes the interesting point, and an esports ecosystem provider of official motorsports racing series, which goes in line with the following news. A thing that had escaped our clever news sniffers is that Motorsport Games recently also bought up the company Digital Tales, who amongst many other software have been publishing motorbike racing games for the last decade. Some early MotoGP games as well as the SBK games and even a motocross game. Of course, it fits the general direction of motorsport games in both directions. Further info's out of the call. The next NASCAR game from Motorsport Games, the one Studio 397 are producing, is going to be called NASCAR NXT and is planned for end of the third quarter of the year, so September-ish? That would fit the release dates of the NASCAR Heat products, and they are working on publishing on the Nintendo Switch sometime after that. We're very curious about what we hope will be the first NASCAR sim with realistic physics. Also very interesting is that any changes in the rFactor 2 engine that may result from the development of NASCAR NXT are going to be part of the core rFactor 2 engine. This is in line with the information we had about the engine being the core physics engine for any development on any sim, and that is good news as rFactor 2 will surely benefit from any other sim they produce. Now, these kind of things are not easy to pull off if we are talking software development, and quality assurance will most assuredly have to be stepped up at Studio 397, as these kind of integrations bear heavy risks if handled in the wrong way. Sadly, we didn't get to learn much about the future of Kartkraft other than a general commitment to, quote, provide new content and updated physics, end quote, which at least has the implicit information of Kartkraft staying alive for the near future, even getting some more content. They anyway reiterated they consider Kartkraft an excellent addition to their portfolio of racing disciplines. All sounds good for the future. In the realm of esports, they confirmed that they are going to host the virtual 24 Hours of Le Mans using rFactor 2 once again, as well as BTCC Sports, NASCAR Summer Heat Showdown and eNASCAR Heat Pro League events. They are surely taking esports and esport broadcasting very seriously, and that is something we will all benefit from. As we were already expecting in our video about the possible future of rFactor 2, see the link up there, they clearly stated rFactor 2 from Studio 397 will be our go-to esports platform, with new hires being brought in to make communication between developers and esports people easier. Man, I should apply for a job in management there. Talking about the BTCC sim, they communicated that all tracks have been laser scanned and the data would be used in a way that the rFactor 2 engine would be able to work with. They also made it clear the BTCC sim would be clearly different than rFactor 2 or NASCAR NXT, with decisions made to differentiate the sims from each other, and Expect the BTCC sim for sometime 2022. Exciting times indeed to be a sim racer. I know any serious American Truck Simulator or Euro Truck Simulator 2 player is going to tell me convoys are not news, as through the use of mods and sites like Trucker MP, anybody can convoy right away. And looking at the news from that angle, you're right. But it's still news because SCS, makers of both games, are introducing convoys inside of both games for the first time, opening both games to multiplayer and allowing you to drive in convoys with other players in private sessions. Mind you, this is an experimental build, and SCS advised you can find any kinds of glitches, bugs and problems. Be aware you are, as they say, testing a work in progress. Anything and everything can happen, anything and everything can break, anything and everything can result out of this. When sim truckers are in a convoy, the AI will be synchronized, as will time and weather, and we suppose and hope also traffic lights. If you want to help them test this, head over to the forum post, see the link in the description and find out how to activate the convoy experimental build. With that, you'll get the opportunity to drive with 7 other truckers doing the same contracts and jobs from the same company and to the same destination, and you can even talk to your buddies in-game via CB radio with quick replies or text chat. By the way, using the same keybinds that Trucker MP uses, if I remember correctly. Now, there are still things SCS have to do, like letting you hear the sounds of your convoyants. Neither the other trucks nor their horns can be heard, and they also have a list of known issues in their post. As they say, it's an experimental build, but it's great they looked around what their community was wanting the most and that they listened to the community. What a great way to move the games forward. Interestingly enough, just now rFactor 2 got automatic wipers and lights, if you choose you want them. And if you don't have the buttons mapped for any of both, rFactor 2 will recognize it and go to auto mode by itself. Of course, only on cars that have any of them. Good luck getting the wipers working on a Formula E car. Also, they fixed the bug that resulted in replay stuttering. There are enough bugs in the replay system anyway, no worries. They have also worked on making sun flares as realistic as possible in a sim where you can have a complete 24-hour cycle, and endurance races, always a good thing. Well, you may think differently when sitting in the cockpit and you can't see diddly because of it, but you wanted a sim and you get a sim. Further than that, the devs have added auto blip, auto lift, hold brakes, hold clutch, repeat shift and start engine settings to the difficulty screen. And if you have been using the release candidate branch and see no difference between that and the official release, this is by design. Studio 397 are holding on a new release candidate for the near future, but you will see new things very soon. As for the competition system, they are working heavily in letting race organizers handle protests and delivering decisions as easily as possible, and learning a lot from their own experience as well as the feedback from the community. They are still looking into the ratings, so no visible updates from that for now. Same goes for the broadcast integration. They have done work on both, but nothing that they want to share yet. Another thing that they are looking into and are very keen to introduce into the sim is being able to assign different roles within a team and within the sim to different people. And that doesn't only mean for a racing team, like differentiating between pilots and engineers, but also with regards to having stewards, race control and even different people on different cameras for a broadcast. This is of course also being done in line with the strategy Motorsport Games has set up for rFactor 2 and all the sims using its engine. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you missed the news at the beginning of this video, so go and take a look at those too, okay? And everything they are doing to the competition system, they are going to have it working for offline racing against the AI. Well, as long as it makes sense, of course. One thing that most assuredly makes sense is watching more of our videos, so check the playlist to the left or the video to the right. Until next time, save fuel, collect pickup, and we'll see each other on the podium.